In a moment that is both embarrassing and unsettling, former President Donald Trump found himself at the center of yet another bizarre controversy during his speech at the Detroit Economic Club. While much of the media covered Trump's speech for its political content and his usual diatribes, a far more troubling incident unfolded that night, one that has been largely overlooked by mainstream news outlets. Multiple sources and clips from the event appear to suggest that Trump may have soiled himself during the speech. The rumors are unsettling and demand careful examination, especially as they bring into question not only the former president's physical health, but also his public behavior in critical moments. As Trump continues to tour the nation in his bid for another term in office, these allegations have cast a long shadow over his public image. Whether it was just an unfortunate accident or a symptom of a larger issue, this incident has reignited concerns about Trump's fitness, both physically and mentally, to lead the nation again. More importantly, this isn't the first time such an incident has been reported. There is a growing body of evidence, ranging from courtroom behaviors to meetings with world leaders, that suggest Trump may have a recurring problem. This video will examine the disturbing details of Trump's latest public incident, the reactions from those who witnessed it, and whether this could be part of a pattern of behavior that should alarm Americans as they consider him for another run at the presidency. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to reaching 1,000 subscribers, but we can't do it without you. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe right now. And if you're already subscribed, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. Alright, let's dive right into it. The incident at the Detroit Economic Club. On a seemingly typical day in September 2024, Donald Trump addressed the Detroit Economic Club, using his time at the podium to criticize President Joe Biden's economic policies, the state of the American auto industry, and various other grievances. However, it was not Trump's speech that grabbed the most attention. It was what appeared to be a series of unfortunate physical mishaps that occurred during his address. As Trump spoke, several attendees reported hearing what sounded like the former president releasing gas. Worse yet, there were murmurs among the audience that Trump may have actually soiled himself during the speech. Video clips from the event show Trump pausing mid-sentence multiple times, appearing to grunt or make noises that some interpreted as an attempt to mask the sound of him relieving himself. Several journalists and attendees noted the odd behavior. The pauses, the uncomfortable grunting noises, and his slightly awkward stance led many to believe that something unusual was happening. Some witnesses claimed to smell an unpleasant odor in the vicinity of the former president, adding to the suspicion that he might have had a bowel incident while on stage. A particular moment in the speech stood out. Trump, after making a sharp critique of FEMA, emitted a noticeable noise, almost as if he was trying to cover something up. For some, this was confirmation that something more than just a political speech was happening on that stage. Yet, despite these reports, mainstream media largely avoided discussing the incident, perhaps due to its sensitive nature or out of respect for the former president. A pattern of concerning behavior. While the Detroit Economic Club incident is the latest, it is far from the first time that Trump has been accused of such behavior in public. Reports have emerged over the past several years suggesting that the former president may have a recurring issue with bowel control, especially in high-stress environments. One of the most notable incidents occurred during a meeting with the late Senator Dianne Feinstein, where it appeared that Trump not only passed gas, but also soiled himself. Feinstein's facial expression, captured on video, suggested that she was visibly disgusted by what had happened. The uncomfortable interaction sparked whispers in Washington, with some even suggesting that the incident was being discussed among lawmakers behind closed doors. There were also reports from within the Trump White House that world leaders had experienced similar moments of discomfort. When Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan visited the White House during Trump's tenure, several people present reported that Trump appeared to release gas and potentially relieve himself during the meeting. The reaction of Erdogan, much like Feinstein's, was one of visible discomfort, and many speculated whether the odor was affecting the discussions. Further corroboration came from courtroom insiders during Trump's 2023 trial, where he was found guilty of 34 felony counts. According to multiple credible sources who were in the courtroom, Trump allegedly passed gas and may have soiled himself during the proceedings. Attorneys sitting close to him reportedly described the smell as unbearable, and there were whispers of discomfort among the court attendees. These reports came from various sources who, despite the sensational nature of the claim, were deemed credible by journalists. Health concerns. Is Trump hiding a medical condition? As the incidents pile up, it begs the question, does Donald Trump have an underlying medical issue that could explain these accidents? While it is easy to dismiss such events as mere accidents, the frequency of these occurrences suggests that something more serious could be at play. Several medical professionals, speaking on condition of anonymity, have speculated that Trump may be suffering from a form of bowel incontinence, a condition that becomes more common with age and can be exacerbated by stress. It's also possible that Trump, in his reluctance to appear vulnerable, may be avoiding medical treatment or downplaying his condition. Age-related decline is a normal part of life, but in the case of a presidential candidate, it becomes a public concern. Trump's behavior, whether it's his repeated instances of soiling himself or his tendency to fall asleep during high-stakes events like his court trials, could be indicative of deeper health issues that merit scrutiny. This brings to mind the 2016 election when Trump and his campaign repeatedly attacked Hillary Clinton's health, questioning her ability to serve as president. Now, it seems that Trump himself may be suffering from health issues that could affect his ability to lead. In fact, some critics argue that Trump's reluctance to acknowledge his physical limitations is part of a larger pattern of denial, one that includes his unwillingness to accept the results of the 2020 election and his continued false claims about election fraud. Covering up with humor? Trump, in typical fashion, appears to have tried to cover up the incidents with humor. At the Detroit Economic Club, some observers noted that Trump made a noise after each suspicious moment, almost as if he was attempting to mask the sound of gas with a vocal grunt. This isn't the first time Trump has used distraction tactics to deflect from potentially embarrassing moments. Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and confidant, has suggested that Trump has a pattern of using such noises to distract from his bodily functions. Cohen went so far as to coin the nickname Von Shits in Pants, referring to Trump's tendency to pass gas and potentially soil himself during public appearances. According to Cohen, this tactic of vocalizing at strategic moments is something Trump has perfected over the years to avoid embarrassment in front of crowds. Reactions from the public and media. Unsurprisingly, the corporate media has largely ignored these incidents. The sensitive nature of the accusations, coupled with the fact that many mainstream outlets are hesitant to report on anything that might seem disrespectful to a former president, has meant that much of the coverage has been confined to smaller outlets, like the Midas Touch network. However, some public figures have been more outspoken. Former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who has been a vocal critic of Trump, described Trump's stench as being a mix of ketchup, armpits, and body odor. In an interview, Kinzinger mentioned that the odor around Trump was one of the worst he had ever smelled, even worse than the odors he had encountered during his military service. This description was corroborated by others who have spent time around Trump. Former staffers and colleagues have privately described similar experiences, noting that the former president has a distinct and unpleasant smell that can be overpowering. Comedian Kathy Griffin also weighed in, joking that Trump's smell was a mix of body odor and cheap hair products. Griffin, who has had her own public feuds with Trump, wasn't afraid to address the topic with her usual biting humor. While it's easy to dismiss her comments as part of their ongoing feud, Griffin's description aligns with what others have said about the former president's odor. Even President Obama weighed in on the topic during a recent speech in Pittsburgh. While discussing the challenges of parenthood, Obama joked about the cost of diapers and whether Trump had ever changed one. The crowd erupted in laughter, and one audience member shouted, "His own diapers!" Obama, in his typical charismatic style, chose not to repeat the joke, but smirked knowingly, clearly aware of the rumors swirling around Trump's alleged incontinence. The flies, another unsettling detail. Adding to the bizarre nature of the situation is the fact that flies seem to be consistently attracted to Trump during his speeches. At multiple events, including the one at the Detroit Economic Club, flies have been seen swarming around the former president. Some have suggested that the flies are drawn to the odor coming from Trump, further fueling speculation about his personal hygiene and potential health issues. A compilation of clips showing flies buzzing around Trump has gone viral on social media, with many noting the strange coincidence of flies being present whenever Trump is speaking. Whether the flies are simply an unfortunate coincidence or part of a larger issue related to Trump's alleged bodily functions remains unclear, but the imagery is striking nonetheless. While it's easy to laugh at or dismiss the rumors about Trump's behavior, the incidents at the Detroit Economic Club and other public appearances point to a potentially serious issue. If Trump is indeed suffering from a medical condition that affects his ability to control his bodily functions, this could have far-reaching implications for his ability to serve as president once again. The health of a candidate is always a significant factor in elections, and with Trump's long history of deflecting from personal weaknesses, it's worth considering whether he is being transparent about his physical fitness. Moreover, the bizarre pattern of public accidents, odd smells, and fly swarms cannot be ignored. These incidents raise serious questions about Trump's health, his ability to handle the stresses of the presidency, and whether voters should be concerned about his fitness for office. As Trump continues his campaign for the 2024 election, it remains to be seen whether these issues will become a focal point of public scrutiny. However, one thing is clear: Trump's behavior in public, from soiling himself to making strange noises, is far from normal. Voters and the media should take these incidents seriously as they evaluate Trump's fitness to lead the nation again.